What is everybody doing today? No. That's not how we roll. We're going to do something completely different. First, I know you've been sitting around for a long time. Yes, and we're going to shake that up a little bit. So what I want you to do, every single one of you, I want you to come up, stand up. Up. Yeah, come on, stand up, everybody. We're going to shake loose. And I know you know some of you, but some of you don't know each other. So I want you to turn to the left, and say hello to the person to your left. Shake the hand. Shake the hand, yeah, introduce yourself. You've been sitting for 5 hours next to a person and you don't know who it is because you're busy texting. Now I want you to turn to the person to the right. And I want to give that person a big hug because the person deserves a hug. A big hug. A bear hug. Woo! How does that feel? We're going to bring some love in here. Love with a big L. Not a small L, a big L. Because that's Filipino love. Alrighty. Woo! Shake it up, sit down, relax. How does that feel? Good. I am delighted. It's a privilege. It's an honor to be here to speak in front of so many fabulous young people. Thank you so much. I love it. Look at this. Everybody's here and wanting to see us, and it's a privilege and an honor. It's fantastic. What am I here to speak about? I'm talking about training. But before I go into the training, I want to ask you a question. What are some of your heroes? Who has a hero? What's that, Captain Barbell? Did I hear Captain Barbell? What are some of your heroes? Darna, I hear Darna. What else? Superman? Nah, we don't know. I actually met Captain Barbell one day, and he's actually a small guy. I was surprised, so I was like, what is Captain Barbell? It's television. I have heroes myself. Of course, when I grew up, two of my favorite heroes, number one, Bruce Lee. Who knows Bruce Lee? Yeah, Bruce Lee. And the second hero, you guessed it, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Of course, I'm Austrian, I'm muscle, you know, so I had to. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. When I grew up, I wanted to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Of course. But before I go into the heroes too much, I also like a lot of television. You guys like television? I thought so. Netflix. No, everybody's on Netflix. When in the 80s, I watched television and I watched a show called Magnum P.I. Anybody know Magnum? No, because you're all born after, there you go. He's the only one born before 84. Oh, we're going to be careful now. So Magnum P.I., this was the show and it was shot in Hawaii. Anybody know where Hawaii is? Yes. So I watched it and said, one day I want to be in Hawaii. So that was another one of my dreams. Of course, I wanted to be like my heroes, and another one was to go to Hawaii. But then the next morning I woke up and I had to go to school. You know that feeling? Yes. I went to school and I went into the school in the morning and I got my grades. And you know what? You think my grades were good or bad? They were bad, exactly. And they were bad for quite a long time, to be honest with you. But then one day, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. How many of you know what dyslexia is? It's a reading-writing disorder. That means I have difficulty reading and I have difficulty writing because my brain functions differently. It processes information differently. And that was one of the reasons why I wasn't good in school, because I wasn't able to follow the normal school curriculum. So I had challenges with this. And then I discovered training. So I had to do extra trainings after class to be able to just follow the regular school program. And that leads me to the actual point why I'm here. I want to talk about training. And why are we doing all these trainings in AIDA cruises before crew members go actually on board? I tell you why. Because since 2007, we had 7 ships coming out. Each year we had a new ship coming out. Now we have 6,000 crew members working on the ships from 34 different countries. And of course, the #1 priority on a cruise ship is safety. We all know that cruise ships need to be safe. Safety is always first. And because we know safety is the #1 priority, we need to make sure every crew member, before they come on board, they are trained to understand all the safety procedures that we have to follow. First, safety. And second, customer service. Guest satisfaction is interlinked with safety. How many of you are feeling unsafe when you go into an airplane? None of you, because you know airplanes are safe. And that is, safety is a subjective feeling. So therefore, it's critical if you want to enjoy a cruise ship, if you want to enjoy customer service, guest satisfaction is interlinked with feeling safe. And that's why we are putting a lot of effort in training, and that's why training in general is so critical for this industry. But I want to show you a little bit about AIDA so you have an idea what I'm talking about. Can we roll, let's see if it works. Can we roll the corporate AIDA video? Magic wand. Corporate AIDA video. Corporate AIDA video. Woo, looks like. Beautiful, no? Bright colors. We have a lot of colors. It's always very exciting what we do. And what are we actually training? I'm sure you were wondering, why are we training? We know, but what are we actually training? We're training a skills base. That means for every person, before they go on the ship, we train them specifically in the different skills that they need for their job. That's one thing. So one thing is we train skills depending on position and department. Number 2, what we do, we train them specifically in HES. Does anybody know what HES means? Ah, got you there. HES means health, environment, safety, and security. That is the foundation of our trainings. Everything we do, we always have to think about health, environment, safety, and security. What does it mean, health? Health is about hygiene. This is about how we deal with bacteria and how we deal with the food, how we preserve. We need to make sure every single guest and crew member on board, whatever they eat, is safe. So we have 2 principles for this. One is cleaning and sanitizing. What does that mean? Cleaning means removing any visible soil from a surface. And the number 2, which is actually more important, is we then need to sanitize, which means we're gonna reduce the number of bacteria on a clean surface to a safe level. And safe level means every person on board is safe. If you're old, if you're young, if your immune system is strong, if your immune system is weak, it doesn't matter. You come to our ships, you will be safe. And that is very, very important. That is health. Of course, environment includes everything, from how we treat water, how do we deal with garbage, how do we recycle garbage, anything. And it doesn't matter from which country you come from. You can come any place around the world. You come to our ships, before you come on board, you learn how we deal with garbage management, emission management, water management. All of this we will teach you, so that you are comfortable, you go to the ship, you know what to do. And of course, we have safety and security. Safety I mentioned, And security is also a big concern. We're living in a world where not everybody is your best friend. I think we know that. So therefore, it's the responsibility of every single person on board to help each other to feel safe and secure. That is the foundation of what we train. And then we train something else, which you maybe are not familiar why we train this. We train character. Character is the foundation. I teach you the skills, I can teach you anything specific to your work, but the character, that's something you bring to us. And we are always looking for the people with the best character. We're talking loyalty, we're talking honesty. We heard earlier, it's about hard working. All of this is determined by your character. But your future is not only determined by your character, it's determined by how and what kind of decisions you're going to do. How many of you have a driver's license? I see a couple of hands. Some of you are still saving money to get the driver's license. The moment you have a driver's license, does that make you a good driver? No. What do you need to become a good driver? Oh, I heard it. Practice, exactly. And that's how it is. So after you graduate, you have your degree, but it doesn't mean you're already going to be a successful person. That means the same way when you have your driver's license, now you need to practice, now you need to gather experience. And that's the critical factor. And you need to have more trainings. Your education is not complete after graduation. No, your education starts. That's when the real education comes. That's when the real test of life comes. That's when the experience comes. And these experiences you have in your life, the decisions you make, should I go right or should I go left? That is your psychological guidance system. Think of it as a telescope. You have a little telescope and then you look through your goal. You see your goal, but now you have to make a decision. Go I right or go I left? That decision will determine how your future is going to be and if you are going to achieve your goals. And that psychological guidance system, we talk about money. Should I buy this new iPhone 12 or 15? Should I spend 3 hours on Facebook instead of reading a book and studying something? These are the little decisions that will shape your future. So your future is determined by the daily little decisions you do. Think about this. It's the little decision. It's not the big one. I got my degree. Alrighty. So does 2,499 people have a degree. Now what are you going to do with this? That is the question. And therefore, in our trainings, we are focusing on character building. Very, very critical part of the process. Now, how are we going to do this? We talked about the why we train. We talked about what are we going to train. But how are we going to do this? Well, I want to show you first a little video to give you an inside glimpse of how we train. We have values. And our corporate values, they didn't come from the corporate. They came from you. In other words, it comes from the crew members themselves. Let's have a little video that shows you how our corporate values actually came about. Let's see. Values trailer. Is that cool or what? Whoa. So he was one of the entertainers. That's why he doesn't need a script, because he knows how to sing. Whoa. So these were crew members ashore, crew members on land, and we asked them, how would you like the company to be? What are the values that you think we should have? And you know what? They're right. So I love it. I love the process of doing this. Now, what are we actually now in the trainings itself? We have 14 different courses. We have a 2-day deck and engine orientation course, and we have a 4 weeks advanced culinary for demi-chef de pâtisserie. And every position in between, we have a training for. We do also leadership trainings. After you go on board, you have your first contract, and of course, after the first contract, you get your first promotion. That's guaranteed. Because you are? Oh, you are? Great. No, you're good. You have to go with the mindset on board. I want that promotion. And you show that by your dedication, your hard work, and your skills. That's of course important. And then you come back after your first contract, and then you go to our leadership trainings. We have AIDA Spirit. We have AIDA Leaders Essential. So you got your first promotion, you go to our leadership training. You go back on board in your new position. And of course, what do you get? You're going to get promoted you get promoted again. Oh, okay, you guessed it. Yes, you will get promoted again. And you come back, and then we do our AIDA Leaders Essential. That's the next level. So we provide you with training and guidance all along the way your career. We offer you German language courses because 99% of all our guests are German speaking. So it's of critical importance to speak the language of the guest. So all along the way, we continuously provide you with the training. And here in Manila, we do the trainings, of course, with Mika. And Mika is one of our best and most trusted partners. And every time we finish a course, the crew members who are participating in this course, they are shooting their own training video. So every course, from the beginning, every course, every year, they shoot their own training video. And I want you to see today, these crew members, what are they actually doing in the training. At the end of the course, we have a graduation. We are inviting family and friends to come join us in the celebration, and then they also show this training video. So I would like you to see and have a look. This is not edited, this is real. This is the real training video of some of the crew members in our courses. Have a look. And I wish you guys can see that. We've been doing this a long time. Last year alone, we trained 1,785 crew members alone. I'm going to repeat that number, 1,785 crew members. And I tell you, just to see the joy in their eyes at the graduation, they're proud, they're excited, and they're ready to go to the ship. And I want you to have that same feeling. That feeling coming from a trainer, being a trainer myself, to see people absorb it and then come in. Sometimes people are shy, sometimes people are not comfortable. They come from different provinces. They're the first time in Manila. And then to see them, to leave, to be proud, to be full of joy, and to go to the ship and come back, and now they can care for their families. They have a job, they have a career. There is no greater job in the world, let me tell you this. My job is not a job. It's just pleasure. Because it's just fantastic to see that and to be part of this. And that's what training is all about. It's developing people. It's giving people opportunities. It's giving people a chance, no matter what their background is, no matter what their education is. It doesn't matter. Everybody will have a chance. And that, for me, is the greatest gift. And that's why training is so critical of importance. Now, what would happen if we don't train? We talked about why we train. We talked about what we train. We talked about how we train. But what happens if we don't train? Well, very simple. Service will go down, safety is compromised. We will not be able to surpass guests' expectations. And that is the bottom line. Also, it will hinder your own career and prosper forward. Learning is a lifelong journey. That's why after you graduate, that's when the real training starts, and that's very critical. And to go back to the beginning. So the moment I discovered that I had dyslexia and I knew I had to train more, 3 times a week I had extra training after school just to pass the regular school. But then after school, and after I finished my high school, my real school started. I was able to get multiple degrees in psychology and all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to bore you with all of this. But the point is, I was able to learn how to learn. And now I can give that same back to people. We have people with all kinds of different personalities in the training, with a good degree, with not such a good degree. But we are able to bring them all together and help them to get that future they want. Now you're probably wondering, did I ever make it to Hawaii? Remember I was telling you about that dream? Yes, I did. Yes, I was in Hawaii. And yes, I did work in Hawaii, and I stayed at the same beach where Magnum P.I. was shot, the television series. And every morning from 10 to 12, I would sleep on that beach. And I would savor that morning, and then I would do a job. In Hawaii, I had 3 different jobs. I'm not going to tell you what jobs they were, but I had 3 jobs. But I was able to go to Hawaii. Now, I wasn't able to meet Bruce Lee because, unfortunately, the day that I was born was the day Bruce Lee died. So you can calculate back how old I am, but don't tell anyone. So I wasn't able, but I was able to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I was able to meet my hero, and I was able to ask him questions, and so that are some of the moments that I treasure in my heart. But I have one little story because I know Paolo would like you to hear that story. I know you're big basketball fans. I played semi-professional basketball. So when I was in high school, I played against Jason Kidd. And he whooped my butt, let me tell you that. But I was able to play against him, and that was another one of the moments I treasure, and I know Paolo likes that story very much. So that's a little bit about training. I hope it gave you some insights in the AIDA training and why training is important. And I wish all of you all the best. And go get your dreams, go get your goals, grab them by the horn and take them down.